everyone, thanks for being here. My name is Kat and I make houseplant videos here on Good and Planty. If you just happen to absolutely love this video, please consider liking it, commenting, subscribing, or following me on Instagram. All of these things help me grow my channel like a plant. All right, fast growing plants. I know we all love them. They help our house look lush. They make us feel confident. I just wanted to share 5 of my personal favorite fast growing houseplants that I think you should also have. The first plant on the list is my goldfish plant, and I'm trying to keep this list a little bit fun because obviously there is like the pothos and all of that, so I'm trying to change it up a little bit. That brings us to the goldfish plant, a very viney, happy little plant. This is the black gold variety, but there are a few different varieties of goldfish plants. The difference between a lot of them is the leaf color and also the look of the flowers. So goldfish plants are called goldfish plants because of their blooms. They look like little goldfish. It's very cute and endearing. I got this plant fairly small. It was just a little, what are those called? Like the 2.5 inch pots. And it has grown over time into this fairly larger plant. A lot of the vines are growing big, but the root ball is staying in a good size for this pot, so I'm leaving her be. This growth probably happened across the span of maybe a year, but I would say that's pretty good. I started out with the 2 vines and 3 more popped out without me needing to prop and plug, which is great. And then on top of that, this plant flowers so often, which is incredible because a lot of houseplants that we like that flower, say Hoya or the Thanksgiving cactus, Christmas cactus, whatever, they flower, but it takes a lot of effort to kind of get them there, or you have to wait for the perfect season. This plant flowers all the time for me and it's amazing, and I feel like I can fully enjoy this plant for forever. Shout out to the goldfish plant. I think everyone should honestly have one. They're super easy care, flexible, don't need all that much water, are very vocal, the whole thing. This is a 10 out of 10 plant in my opinion. Okay, next, of course we have to talk about a Syngonium. Here I have the Syngonium chiapense or chiapense. This has been a non-stop grower for me ever since I brought her home from the nursery. I got a pretty good deal on her actually. I think I paid $15 to $30, which I personally, where I live in Philly, this plant is harder to come by than I thought. I know for some people it's a little bit more common, but I had to track this plant down. It has not let me down at all. A lot of my Syngonium have been a bit more finicky with me over the past 6 months or so, and this one has like held it together beautifully. She is a little bit leggy down here. I lost a lot of foliage when she was acclimating to my home, but ever since then I've gotten all of these new leaves. I believe only 1 or 2 of these actually came with the plant that I purchased, and the rest has grown under my care. That has only been a few months or so, and the leaf size, whoa, is phenomenal. Like, look at this thing. It's like the size of my hand. And you can see if you peek in here, I already have a new leaf on the way. It's poking its little head out. That is exactly how this plant has been. It's just been shooting out growth nonstop. I would say some things that have helped this plant kind of maintain its quick growth is bright and direct light. I always give this plant a decent amount of light. And then on top of that, this plant does like to stay a little bit moister than some of my other plants. I think it is one of the more thirsty Syngonium varieties that I've taken care of. Also, what's helping it is the pole. Moss poles will help your plant grow much faster if it is a vining plant, so I always recommend adding a moss pole to a plant that you want to kind of explode with growth. And she is probably one of my favorite plants ever. I love her so much. They have a little bit of like this mosaic-y look, if you can see that. There, I think you can see this. Yeah, the mosaic-y little look with all the veins. Love her. Literally one of my most favorite plants on the planet. Next, I want to talk about a plant that is behind me. I bet you can guess which one. That is my Philodendron micans. This plant grows so fast, faster than I can even manage. So she is on this moss pole, which again really helps kind of expedite the growth of a plant. They love to sink their aerial roots into something and grow upwards, vertical. And then I do have the Soltech light kind of assisting the growth, but she has grown also without that light. However, if you do want to check out Soltech, I have a discount code and the link is in my description box. That said, she is now also climbing all over my wall. And on top of that, this plant here in the middle is fully propagations I've taken from that micans. So that micans has been heavily chopped. She's one of my go-to propagation plants for trades and stuff like that. The fact that I have two very fast growing micans just really proves that it is in fact a fast growing plant and it can be fast growing even without a moss pole. Oh, also I will say, I'm sorry to plug so many things, but the wall trellises that I have are also linked down below in my description with a discount code if you want to check them out. No pressure, this is not sponsored. I will avert your gaze once more behind me for the next plant, which is this this Monstera adansonii. I want to say Philodendron so bad. I'm trying to switch up the genus here so that you have a little bit of a variety to choose from. The adansonii is another very fast grower, and what I like about the adansonii is that in my experience it hasn't gotten super leggy, unlike the last plant I'll talk. Sorry. Unlike the last plant I'm going to be talking about today, the adansonii for me has not been incredibly leggy, which is sometimes an issue you can run into when you have a fast growing plant. I have really decent sized leaves, I would say, up top. She is another plant that is drought tolerant, but can stay a little bit moister and would be a little bit happier. Also, bright and direct light, as always, is gonna really help your plant thrive and grow faster, because although I do find all of these plants to be very fast growing, it's all about the conditions that you are also putting these plants in, because that's gonna support your plant to put out that growth that you're searching for. And also fertilizing. If you want fertilizing info, I have a whole video on it and I will plug it here. But yes, adansonii, great plant, beautiful plant, easy care, fun to propagate, looks super lush and gorgeous on a shelf. You can also do the moss pole trick if you like, and the leaves will get better and bigger over time. However, I just have her vining down, and I've had that plant for also a few months, and I would say everything shelved down is new, which is very exciting. Okay, the last plant on our list today is a bit of a troublemaker, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to me on this, but we're gonna talk about the Synapsis. This is often called a silver satin pothos, but it is not in fact a pothos. I'm keeping my word on not putting pothos in this video. This is a Synapsis, a different genus. This is a very fast growing plant. I got her probably like a little less than a year ago, and she was probably at this point here, and I have gotten all of this growth, and I have chopped her a few times actually. This plant I wanted to talk about for a very specific reason, and that is legginess. When you hear people talk about legginess, it is referring to a vine that will look something like this, where the leaves start to get really spaced out between the nodes. Also, the leaves get really tiny. You get a very lush plant up top that very much will thin out towards the bottom, and I find that to be so common with Synapsis pictus. The one tip I really wanted to share with you all is heavy pruning. I prune this plant a lot, and that is why you can see that even here we have some thickness. Down here it gets a little bit thinner, so I'm probably gonna go in and snip this all off and allow her to kind of continue to fill out as she vines down. Again, if you don't want to deal with that, you can put her on a moss pole and she will get bigger the more she grows up. But if you want her vining, I just wanted to flag that yes, it's gonna grow pretty fast, but it's gonna take a little bit of upkeep. This plant is actually fairly thirsty. They are drought tolerant, but she does like to stay a little bit on the moisture side. I've learned that over time. Don't take advantage of this plant being drought tolerant. You will have leaf loss. Also, it is a bit low light tolerant, but again, if you really want to see this plant take off, I highly recommend bright and direct light and fertilizer. All of the care is pretty much similar to all of the plants that I've talked about. They're all very vocal, easy care plants that grow super fast and will make you feel really confident, honestly, in your houseplant care. Once you kind of get the knack of taking care of them, the schedule down, the whole thing. I really just wanted to give us a break, talk about some easy plants. It is a beautiful season for growing indoors, and sometimes you want like to throw yourself a bone. You want an easy kickstart, and I think that these plants are a great way to give yourself that. And those are 5 of my favorite fast growing houseplants. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any plants to add to this list, please drop them down below in the comment section. I would really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already and want to see more Planty content from me. Like this video, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!